We are absolutely boned when it comes to summer anime. This season is freaking insane. The number of carryovers, the number of sequels, it's going to be damn hard. This is probably going to be the most fragmented the anime community has been in some time because half the people are going to want to watch all their favorite returns, meaning they won't have time for all the new shows people want to talk about. And then half the people who haven't seen the old shows are just going to watch the new stuff. There's going to be so much discussion that there's no discussion on very few shows, basically. I'm going to go over what I think I'm going to be watching. I think I don't want to hear nothing about the where's this show. I did do a full chart breakdown over on Patreon covering the full chart. This is what I think is the refined list. As I always say though, I don't know until I watch. This is just my guess based on stuff that interests me, stuff that I think people would want content on, yada yada. You want to see the full chart, head on over to Patreon. But this is the refined list. We're going to speed through some stuff because if I don't include the sequels or carryovers that we're already watching, people think I'm not watching anymore. We're obviously going to keep watching Slime. That's an obvious. ReZero is actually continuing. That was my mistake. I thought it comes back in fall. In fact, it only takes apparently a month break. So yeah, we'll keep on watching that. Demons of the Shower Realm, we're going to keep on watching. It will probably become a Patreon exclusive outside the odd video on YouTube. Just sadly, there isn't a lot of viewership. Bookworm, we're obviously going to keep on continuing with. Bookworm has a better chance of having multiple videos next season because it does okay, surprisingly, but we'll see. Irmakun will still be continuing over on Patreon. Might get the odd video on YouTube, who knows. But anyway, time for the new stuff that is coming back. Finally, Mushoku Tensei. We are, of course, going to watch this. It's definitely still one of the best ongoing isekai, and I haven't watched anything really about the upcoming season. I skimmed one of the trailers that had Eris in it, but I just wanted to go in as blind as possible, so I'm excited, of course. We have Trapped in a Dating Sim. Now, as of the recording of this video, I haven't watched it yet, but I am planning to cover the full show before Season 2 starts on July 8th. So make sure you peek over on Patreon. We'll probably have at least a video up on the channel just covering my overall season thoughts when I get there. But this is one that will be a Patreon show either way. Not sure if this will actually have viewership. Sometimes, like, I know the show was kind of popular when it came out. The thing about these shows is that when sequels come back, is you never quite know if they actually will have viewership, so time will tell. Link Click, definitely going to be a Patreon exclusive. I'll do one video, 2 people will show up, but I'm excited for this. I finally caught up to it not too long ago, covered everything over on Patreon, and yeah, it was such a good show. This is one of the best examples of time travel. In my humble opinion, if there's one show you should catch up for to try to talk about a show weekly this season, it is Link Click. And that's a bold claim, I know, but that's how I feel. Skeleton Knight is coming back. This one, it's been a little bit, but this was a good show. It was a fun twist on what you expect on this type of genre. The characters were surprisingly solid, and I'm very excited. No idea if this will get videos on YouTube, but you know I'm excited. Saga of Tying the Evil is coming back. I have yet to watch the movie, which I know the movie is canon. I'm going to be checking that out before Season 2 drops. I still have some time. Now that shows are winding down, I'll have time to catch up on some things. I did want to do a rewatch for Season 1. Time, am I right? But yeah, I'm interested to see if people actually give a fuck about this as much as it seems like they are. It's kind of funny because Tanya is one of the rare shows that has had a season in a movie, but she's appeared more in another anime than her own, which is Isekai Quartet, and that's pretty funny. Bleach is coming back. Excited. I think like 60% of this core should be anime original stuff that they're using to flesh out the end game, so that's pretty exciting. From Old Country, Bumpkin is coming back. Very, very solid show. You know, the kind of like old man doesn't know he's powerful misunderstanding trope. It's one of the better examples of how to do that. So I'm, of course, very excited for this to return. 100 Girlfriends is also returning. I mean, one of the peak brain rot harems of all time. That's always a fun time. And the more you watch, the more you say, I don't know what they snorted, but thank you for snorting it. Clevatess is also coming back. This was like one of the best examples of modern dark fantasy. If you're into stuff like Berserk or Claymore, you gotta peek Clevatess. I think Clevatess is my number 2 recommendation to catch up on. If you are limited on what you can catch up on, Link Click and then Clevatess. Do yourself a favor. This show's awesome. Hell Mode. You know, this is what most people would say is a guilty pleasure. I'm not a coward, though. This ain't no guilty pleasure. This was a very good example of a video game like power system in an isekai world, and just, man, I am so happy it ended up being a split core. 3 people and a monkey. I'm probably the monkey. Will enjoy this, but you know fucking well I'm going to be enjoying it. This one I'm not 100% confident on. This one's called The Village of Level 999. 80% of the world is now too dangerous for people to live in. With monsters' arrival, the world bestowed classes upon its people. You know, typical stuff. And then obviously our guy gets into level 999, the highest no one's ever reached before. And to be honest, watching the preview, looking at the synopsis, especially with the idea of monsters did not always exist in the island country once known as Japan. So it's an interesting take of like a world changing into a traditional fantasy environment from what was seemingly normal. Could be nothing. Brainspace is a solid studio. I'm definitely interested in this for sure. Overshadowed to Overpowered, we ain't saying the rest of this, is one of those shows, could be Isekai Slop. Probably is Isekai Slop, but I gotta be honest, out of the 3 shows I'm considering but not 100% confident in, the preview for this one was really fun. I'm interested. May not get actually watched or covered, but it's something I'm interested in. It also comes out on June 26th, which is next week if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, you know, I guess we'll see sooner than later. This is the 3rd of the shows I was talking about. This is called I Became a Legend After My 10-year-long last stand. Now, the production value of the trailer, you know, it kind of leaves much to be desired. It's very meh looking. Not ugly, just very underwhelming. I have heard some good things about the source material. And to be honest, the concept of coming back after a big old event, I like it. It doesn't look harem-y, traditional bullshit from the preview. The worst part about the preview is that the visuals are very underwhelming to me, which could be a detriment to viewership for many people. I don't think it looks ugly, so I'm definitely interested in checking it out. But yeah, I think the 999, Overpowered, and this are the 3 that easily I could see myself not actually watching and dropping early, but they all have my interest enough to probably peak it. We got Tomb Raider King. I don't think many people are going to give a fuck about this. This is not going to get soul leveling viewership for people, but I actually think it does look rather fun. We did a reaction to the trailer months ago, I guess. I was going to say not too long ago, but I think it was months ago at this point. So I am interested. It does look fun. Elusive Samurai is a potential I wait to watch it, but I'm going to do a poll on Patreon later at some point to see if like I have at least the viewership over there. I thought this was a fun show. And honestly, the action got pretty crazy by the end. I think this show will get 200 Reddit karma every week, and like 3 peoples and a monkey are going to watch it. But it was a very good first season. It's just one of those shows similar to what I did to Fire Force this past anime season. I watched the last core of Fire Force this previous anime season, despite it airing 2 seasons ago, because I didn't have the viewership to watch it at the time, so this may be a similar thing, but I am excited for this to return. Ghost in the Shell is definitely one of my more anticipated ones, supposed to be faithfully following the manga, and if so, gonna be a lot of kinky fun times on that show. You might need to bust out the censor bars if you're doing reaction. Either way, this is seemingly the first official proper adaptation of Ghost in the Shell in terms of properly following the source material. From my understanding, the preview looks amazing. Very excited. We also did a reaction to this a while back. It's called A Livid Lady's Guide to Getting Even. This is kind of like the villainess show that I'm interested in of the season. I recommend this one. I think in terms of all the kind of villainess coded shows, this is the one that interests me the most personally. This one is fucking hilarious. My understanding is that girl gets so worked up with romance she turns into Godzilla. And then armies fight her, and then she calms down. A romance about a girl turning into a monster is fucking hilarious. Now, romance anime in my channel have never gotten along. No idea why, is what it is. But these are the types of shows that I fucking love covering every so often, and I'm very excited to check this out. And though it's tragic, if you sort Live Chart by popularity, this is near the damn bottom. Science Saru is a fantastic studio. This looks to be like the next Ranking of Kings for me. And if you know how much I praise Ranking of Kings, that is a very high. This is probably the coolest looking show of the season. And the plot of everything that I've learned about it looks absolutely incredible. So, either way, I'm excited for this new season. There's too much fucking shit. I mean, I kind of have changed how I did things on the channel, and I've done it more, and I kind of like it. I don't really like doing more than 2 uploads a day, and honestly, 1 upload a day is often fine. There's one day of the week, based on how I'm looking at the schedule, where I may have to do 3, but for the most part, a lot of shows are not going to get weekly coverage this time around. They will get coverage when I want it. Stuff like Bleach or Skeleton Knight or Bookworm, they don't always have the viewership on my channel to do it weekly, but if I rotate them every so often, it allows for me to cover more stuff more often on the channel. Patreon will always be the weekly uploads, where YouTube is just going to be the consistent things are going to be the shows that bring the viewership every week, guaranteed. Stuff like probably Saga, Tanya Evil, or ReZero when it comes back, etc. where all the other shows, unless it airs on a very dead day, probably is not going to get that weekly viewership on YouTube or coverage, so things will be rotated. But in doing the rotation, it will allow me to cover more shows. Like, look at Irmakuna as an example. I stopped covering that show weekly, but, you know, when I have stuff to say, we make a video, it does all right. That type of stuff, I think, is better for the channel. But as I always say, Patreon, full live reactions will always be over there to everything we're watching this season and more. And, you know, it's going to be a good season for content. It's just, unfortunately, a season for content that a lot of shows will not be able to have weekly coverage on YouTube. And instead, we'll have to have that fragmented, maybe first impressions, last impressions, and maybe a middle impressions if we have time, sort of a deal. But you can let me know what you're excited for and what you would like to see content for. This does help me decide. This is just based on what I've seen. Yes, there's stuff that I think will probably have people talking about it. I just don't believe there's enough of a demand. So this is how I've kind of formulated my list. But you let me know your feelings down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Head on over to the Patreon to see my full live reactions from everything from this past anime season. And I will be covering in the next anime season. But until next time, everyone, take care. You know, have a good one.